they can take a punch. It's funny because Javon Bullard told me the same thing last week when I asked him about giving up those first drive touchdowns. For a fifth straight week, the Dogs have given up an opening drive touchdown, 75-yard rushing touchdown they gave up on the very first snap of the game. And Kirby joked with us after the game saying that he told Schumann, we're going to let them score. Let's get it over with. But he did say that historically Georgia does not allow for explosive runs. They did that tonight. But if you take a look at the total, 130 rushing yards. That's what they gave up today. So only 55 after that huge chunk play. And Bailey, I got to tell you, he was asked to put into perspective, having a team go 8-0 in 3 consecutive seasons in the SEC. Also having 28 straight wins, tying the best Alabama teams from back in the day, right? So Alabama did it twice with 2 different teams, 28 straight wins. That's an SEC record. They're tying an SEC record. And funny enough, Kirby said, well, we got to go and play Tech next week. There will be a time to reflect on that, but that time isn't now. And I have some injury updates for you as well. Ladd McConkey, some people might think that he was out with that injury that's been bugging him most of the season, that back injury, but it wasn't. He has an ankle injury. He suffered it against Ole Miss last week. He didn't practice all week, so today he couldn't go. Tate Ratledge came out of the game. We did not see him go back in. He banged knees. He did try to come back in the game, but wasn't able to. So those are the 2 injury updates I have for you. Going forward, obviously, the Dogs have to face Tech. Kirby said today how much he respects what has happened there under Coach Key. Key, obviously an alumni just like him. He knows how much that school, that program means to Key, just like UGA means to Kirby. So, Thanksgiving, they'll be able to celebrate very minimally because they are on to Georgia Tech. Bailey? You guys have played behind in 7 of 8 SEC games this season, given the fact that the defense gives up opening drive touchdowns. But what does that say about you guys? Last week, Javon Bullard told me it shows that you guys can take a punch.
Right. Oh, that's exactly what it means. Every team we played against, every game we've been in so far, except for one, we've been down. We've been down at times in the game. So, just that ability to have to go through that adversity and be resilient and get over those. Whenever a bad play goes down, something will go our way. Be able to bounce back from that and don't let that negative play affect the play in the future. So that's just been really our main focus, is trying to stack positive plays on top of positive plays.
A lot of teams take on the identity of their quarterback, and he seems to be the coolest guy. Do you think that that's kind of why you guys are able to do what you do, because he just is so unrattled at all times?
I mean, I guess so. I just feel like, Carson, he is a really cool, laid-back guy. He's really not bothered by much. And, I mean, you could say that we took on the personality of him because we really look up to him. We look at him to be the leader of the offense. So whenever we see him, he calm and collect. He's not in a worry, or he's not mad, or he don't got anything going on. Everybody else on the offense calm, so we go where he goes.
How about Dylan Bell tonight, throwing a touchdown and catching one? Great
game by D. Bell. I know he's been waiting for this game for a little minute, and his number was called tonight. He had an opportunity to make plays, and he made those plays. So, like I said, that's a great kid. He a hard worker. He comes in every day, busts his tail, and you saw what hard work do for you.
You're pretty hardworking too. 2 touchdowns for you tonight. How'd that feel?
It felt great. I think I'm the first one in my career here at Georgia. 2 touchdowns in the game, but it was not all me. I gotta get all the credit to my O-line, my quarterbacks, and my coaches putting me in the right position, and O-line blocking, quarterback throwing me the ball. So I couldn't do anything without them.
Carson, 11 straight completion at one point in this game. How do you think you performed in your first road trip, or road start, I should say, against a ranked opponent?
I thought it was a really good game. I thought we ran the ball well, we passed the ball well. Obviously, when our defense is getting stops like that, and we're maintaining them, holding them on special teams, so they're not getting any plays. Kind of just a field position battle and just execution, and we were able to out execute them.
Your reaction to Dylan Bell when he threw a touchdown and caught a touchdown?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. We called the play in, the trick play, I guess you could call it. We called it in, and I was super hyped because we've been going over it for a few weeks and we just haven't called it yet. But finally got the opportunity to call it, and I mean it ended up working.
First team in SEC history to go 8-0 in 3 straight seasons. How does that feel?
It feels good. It feels great. But obviously, we'll enjoy tonight and then we'll move on to next week.
How do you feel? And I know you said that pain is to be expected, or being uncomfortable is to be expected.
Yeah, I mean, I just got just landed on a little bit. I mean, it happens, but yeah, I mean, that's going to happen because I'm still pretty quick out of surgery, and I mean, it's going to hurt a little bit. So.
Now, I want to talk about your quarterback. At one point in this game, he had 11 straight completions, played really well today. This was his first road start against a ranked opponent.
Yeah, I mean, he played lights out. I mean, between the third downs we were completing and just everything like that, he was clicking and going through his progression and making good checks. So he played lights out.
You are the first SEC team to go 8-0 in 3 straight seasons. No other team's been able to do that in the history of the conference. What's that like for you?
I mean, it's awesome, but I mean, we're still worried about the next game, and we still have a long ways to go to get where we want to be.
For only a second time this season, a second straight time, I must add, a healthy Ladd McConkey and Brock Bowers will play together. They're the 2 biggest threats on UGA's offense, but they haven't shared the field much this season because of injuries. McConkey wasn't fully healthy until the Florida game. That's when Bowers was out after having tightrope surgery to repair a high ankle sprain. Against Ole Miss last weekend, they combined for the only 2 receiving touchdowns of the game. Having them both at the same time makes for something special.
I'm going to go ahead and say Ladd and Brock is LeBron and D-Wade. You know, those guys, you know, every day they come out there and they just work. Like, they work. It doesn't matter how sore they are, how tired they are.
If Bowers and McConkey are LeBron and D-Wade, the defense needs to be Chris Bosh. Those are the big 3 for the Dogs. Georgia's defense has allowed opening drive touchdowns in 4 straight games and 5 times this season. The Vols have scored touchdowns on 7 of their first 10 drives. Georgia DN Michael Williams says they start out fast and explosive fast. They have to affect and control that. Reporting from Neyland Stadium, Emily Gagnon, Atlanta News First. Georgia's defense knew Tennessee's offense got off to fast starts, and they learned that tonight, allowing another opening drive touchdown for a 5th straight game and for the 6th time this season. They've played from behind in 7 out of their 8 SEC games this year, but it doesn't matter, guys. They've been able to fight, claw their way back. And, you know, Javon Bullard told me that's because this team can take a punch. If you ask me, it's because the Dogs have taken on Carson Beck's identity. He's just so cool, so calm, so collected. Georgia's offense never worries. They come out on the field and they take care of business when UGA's defense can't. For the first time in SEC history, a team has gone 8-0 in conference play in 3 straight seasons. Does it feel good to be undefeated knowing that you guys are going to face Georgia Tech next week? One more assignment and you'll have a perfect regular season again.
No, yeah, definitely real excited about that because, like I said, it's definitely tough to win in the SEC, especially going undefeated. So
you just don't smile for me, huh?
There you go.